everybody, Sue here from She Sells. As you can see, I have my handy dandy assistant in the back seat with me. That's Merlin. I'm actually just going to run to the bank and do a real quick errand and then drop him back off at the house, and I'm going to be outsourcing for the day. So I wanted to come to you and talk to you about a few different things today. Basically a little more about my goals for the year and what I'm doing to put those into place. I told you a little while back, a few videos back, about a couple opportunities that I had that I passed on because they just didn't fit into my model. Well, I've been thinking about one of them, and I had the opportunity again, and I think I figured out how to handle that. So I have put into place that to go pick up 100 pieces of clothing next week. Oops, ambulance just pulled right out in front of me, and the dog almost went on the ground. He does have a seatbelt on back there. So yeah, I'm gonna explain a little about that in the video today, and I'm gonna talk to you once again about a repricer, which is on my list, and I'm giving myself exactly 14 days from today on video. Let's see, today I think is the 23rd. Yeah, February 23rd. To do a little studying about them, just kind of looking through the different ones. There's a lot of them out there, but there's three kind of most popular ones, I would say. And I want to just see what the difference in those are, and then just decide, and then just do it. Just do it. And then the other thing is, so obviously one of my goals was to increase my sales this year, but not to work any more hours than I do already. So along with that 100-piece clothing purchase, I am going to be hiring a person to do my eBay photos and listings for me. I will still do the shipping. So that's what I'm going to talk about as well. Because I really basically can't really work many more hours than I do already, but I would still like to increase sales and either work the same amount or work less. So that is what I'm going to come and talk to you about today, and we'll be back to you shortly. Merlin, show everybody your face. Merlin, nobody wants to see your tail. All right, we'll talk to you in a minute. Okay, down to business. So number one, I'm going to look at 3 repricers. One is Inform.co, one is ChannelMax, and one is BQL. I never know quite how to pronounce that. There are 3 different price ranges. They have different timing. So some of them reprice every 15 minutes, some reprice like every couple minutes. I don't think I really need that right now. I don't sell all that many hot items that would change that often. But I really want to learn, of course, the cost of each one and how they work. My thought is to use one of the easier ones first, and just kind of learn how to use a repricer and then move to a more sophisticated one. But I'm not sure if that's a whole lot more work. Like once you have your settings ready for one, the change over to another one, how complicated is that? Do you have to start over and reprice everything or reset all your settings manually? So that's another thing I'm going to be looking into. So I hope over the next week to at least study and learn about some of the different options and features available on those repricers, and then hopefully do a little video just to help any of those who are thinking the same things. Alright, so then next I have somebody coming over tomorrow, and we're going to set up. We've already been talking back and forth on the phone. She's very familiar with eBay. She has done consignment for other people for eBay. Basically what I'm going to have her do is either pick up or I'm going to drop off, and we're very close to each other, like within a couple miles, so I don't care. I don't mind dropping off, or if she wants to pick up, however that's going to work. I want her to do a minimum of 25 listings a week, and really that's because, I mean, I'm down to literally 6 items on eBay right now. I've never had a store. I normally keep between 50 and 60 is like a really good amount for me. But you have to understand that over the last maybe year, I've really concentrated on Amazon. It's kind of hard to be good at both by yourself. When I travel a lot, it's harder for me, you know, to get things shipped out. I've always been one-day handling, but my son was able to come and help, but he's moved a good distance away now, so it's hard for him. If in an emergency, I could have him rush over and do something for me. I am going to change to 2-day handling, but I would like to kind of slowly build up the eBay store again without too much my hands involved in it. I'm not sure whether it's better to have somebody who's never really done eBay, and then you can have them do it exactly the way you want it, or if they are, you know, already learned and do it their own way in eBay. But I'm not super picky about my photographs. I like a lot of photographs, and I, you know, like a nice clean background. I don't like hairy. Interrupted by the phone. So as I was saying, I'm not sure if it's better to hire somebody who's done eBay and they kind of do it their own way, or train them from the beginning. But just time management wise, I would rather not train somebody right now. So she's fully capable of doing everything without much prompting from me. So I'm going to have her pick up, or I'm going to drop off. I'm going to pay her a little more for the clothing. I'm going to pay her per item. I'm going to pay her more for the clothing because I don't care if she uses flat lay or the mannequin. But it's either way, it's more time consuming. You have to lay it out just right, get the tags to show. Everything that I purchase is new and mostly with tags, and it's very well-known brand names, so I'm not going to put any measurements in my listing. Anyway, and I don't do a whole lot of description either. But you know, people pretty much know how these sizes run, and I'll have it available if somebody has a specific question on it. But that's just how I roll. I just want to do a minimum amount of work for the maximum amount of sales. But I really feel like if I can get my store rolling again and get more activity, you know, obviously that's what makes it sell. The really funny thing is I literally have 6 things in my store right now, and I mentioned that earlier, that I had really let it go since Christmas time, and I sold 3 things yesterday. But I got a bid on the first item, and I think that just gives you just enough activity in your account to make it start showing more again. I don't know. They were like oddball sets of blind bags from like the Christmas before last. I had bought a ton of them last year at pennies on the dollar, and set them up, you know, like 6, 8, 12. And I've sold quite a few of them over time. I'm made more than my money back on all that, and I still have half a bucket full. But I just every once in a while get them out there and list. And the reason they were still listed, because I literally have not touched my store since December 26th, except for some sales. And I had, you know, lingering sales after that, but as my store dwindled down and the listings ended, because I normally do 30 days for everything, I had done some sales similar, and they just happened to be on a listing that was, you know, till sold or ended, I guess. So anyway, I had 3 sales yesterday. So yeah, little by little, I just want to build up the store again. I may end up, because I will be going over 50 a month, I may end up going ahead and getting a store. So I was going to pay her more to do clothing. I have lots of toys, and most of it is returns from Amazon or things that I bought for Amazon and decided not to put on Amazon for some reason or another. I have a few things I had to pull back because the listing went to the dogs of Amazon and blah, blah, blah. You know, it's just, I have a lot of stuff and I really need to be getting rid of some of that. There are actually some things that I have sourced, especially some Legos. I showed you the Mindstorm the other day, that I have an architectural set I had gotten on sale. That'll do really well. It's a set that's not around anymore. I can't remember which one it is. Studio or something. I don't know. But that one will sell well. So it's the kind of thing that I, you know, let me just get my money back out of some of this stuff and make a little bit. But on the clothing, I'm going to see how that goes, because I can possibly have the opportunity to repeat that, and we'll see how that goes. I don't like to do my clothes myself, but I don't mind somebody else doing it. And when it's a good value, a good deal, you know, I think it's worth doing. Once the store gets rolling and everything, I would like to start doing estate sales again and garage sales as it gets warmer. I noticed several garage sales this morning. I always check the Treasure Map, the app on the phone, but almost nothing right in my little area. So I would have had to drive, and we just had some stuff going on at the house today. So it's already 3 o'clock and I'm just getting started. So I don't know, I'll probably, go till probably 9, because I'm not going to any stores that are open 24 hours or whatever. Plus I don't normally shop past 9, 10 o'clock by myself. Anyway, so that's my story on eBay. I'm going to try and build that up and then be sourcing for eBay again. Because really the only reason I kind of let it slide and I wasn't working on eBay, because I do enjoy it and I do enjoy sourcing for those treasures and that kind of thing, but I don't have time to list. You know, when it's something that you like to do, you can find time easier, but I just really don't enjoy the listing part. I enjoy the buying, and I really don't mind the shipping at all. It's really fun to make some weird size box and make it fit and look really nice. So that part I don't mind at all. So she's going to come over tomorrow and we're going to kind of go over all the steps. And, you know, I figure I'm not getting the clothing for another week, so I figure I will send her home with 25 tomorrow if that's what she wants to do. And then we'll just kind of go from there. You know, I'll see if she likes it. I'll give her the opportunity to, you know, back out if she doesn't like it. But I would like to hear from some of you who have paid people to work your eBay store, and just see how that went. If you have any tips, you know, I thought about doing a bonus if she gets enough listings, you know, like does them on time every week for a month, she gets a little bit of a bonus. Or, you know, if the store is just doing well, you know, a small percentage, maybe a gift card. I don't know. I just really feel like I don't want to treat my employees at the bare minimum. I mean, I would rather them be happy, I'm happy with them, and they want to stay, because, you know, once they're gone, you've got to train somebody over again. So it's always easier to keep an employee. A long time ago, I used to be in retail management, and my husband had always been in IT management, and he gave me a tip and just said, always feed your employees. So I have one part-time employee, and then I have a lady that helps out occasionally when I need more help. She actually helped out a good bit over Christmas time. So I have a whole bunch of rewards from Starbucks, so I'd go in the morning and get them Starbucks, which was great. It didn't even cost me anything, and I don't like Starbucks myself, so I'm always trying to use those rewards. You know, just little things like that. I usually buy lunch when my employees work through lunch, or just go upstairs and make grilled cheese and soup, and they seem to be really happy with that. So if you do little things, you know, maybe just keep sodas available for them. If, in my case, they come to my house and work, I have a full basement where my office and processing and all that's done. But maybe if you have a warehouse and you have a couple employees, just have a little fridge that keep Cokes in it. I mean, how much does that cost? And, you know, people just really appreciate little things, and they always appreciate food. When I was in retail, I always did the big, we were in the mall, so I always did the big chocolate chip cookie for their birthdays. I used to buy pizza for all the employees at Christmas time, and they thought it was great and that I was just being really nice, but I was, but it was also so that they wouldn't be gone longer than 30 minutes for lunch, because at the mall at Christmas time, at least in the past, because this was probably the 80s, and that's where everybody shopped. You couldn't hardly go to the food court and get back in 30 minutes. So yeah, just treat your employees well. Keep them happy, and they'll want to stay and work for you. It's just nice to be nice anyway. Okay, so we kind of covered repricer, and I'm on record as saying within 14 days I will have a repricer. We kind of covered what my plans are for eBay coming up. Now the other thing is sourcing, and I'm kind of in a little funk, and this usually happens after, you know, big maybe clearance time, or when you're doing all RA and you don't necessarily have a lot of replens, which is also on my list of things to do. I thought I had gotten a replens and it was selling pretty well, but it's kind of, the price has kind of dropped out on that. Working on a couple other ones, just kind of everyday things. I'm trying to get out of so many toys and or holiday things, because you know, you're chasing, then it's time to switch gears, and it's just that over and over and over. And that's when I talked about trying not to work as hard this year. I don't mind the chase, and I don't mind so many hours, but it's really hard to grow with that model without just, you know, being on the run so much. So I'm in that right in between right now. I talked about going to 5 states to do that clearance right now. I have the Carolinas left to do, and I will be doing that, but later next week. It's a little bit, you know, the sale's been going on for a while, so we'll see how much I get, but that's also where I'm going to go pick up my clothing lot. So I'm going to head out that way. And then of course I'll also go to my regular stores that I hit in Atlanta. I'll be going to as many as I can while I'm out there. And hopefully, I've been lucky so far. It's kind of smaller items, not huge toys, although last time I was there I picked up a whole carload, a whole truckload of easy bake ovens. So you never know what you're going to run into. That wasn't in the plan. But I do have somebody out there that will do processing for me, and I may do that again. So last time I shopped, dropped off one whole truckload, had them process, and then I brought the next carload home with me. So I have the opportunity to do that, and or I can, you know, ship from the hotel at night. It's a lot of hours. I mean, I literally, sometimes those can be 15 or 16-hour days, because you shop all day and then usually process till like 1 o'clock in the morning. And then I usually say, okay, I'm exhausted, I'm gonna get up really early and finish. Never get up really early. I do finish, but I never get up that early. Okay, so some of my plans with that, some of the things that I do when I'm in a little bit of a funk and I'm not sure what I should be outsourcing right now, I don't just randomly go to stores and wander around, because I think that just takes up a little too much time. Yes, when you're new and you're just learning and learning, and yes, when I'm going to buy a new product, when I'm usually already in a store that I'm already shopping for, then I will spend some time and, you know, be looking for new items. But I don't want to just start out, okay, leave the house in the morning, drive to the first store, and have no idea what I'm going to get. So normally what I do when I'm kind of stuck like that is I'll go back and look at last year's sales. What was I selling last year? My problem right now is, although I am still sourcing what I sourced last year, and that sale is, that store, particular store has a sale this time a year, every year. It was Toys R Us going out of business that was just making my numbers fly last February and March. Now, if you don't know about Toys R Us going out of business, I guess it was around February, sometime after Christmas, that they announced that they were closing a certain number of stores. A lot of them, but like maybe it was a couple hundred stores or 80 stores. It might have been something like 80 stores, I can't remember. So I started shopping those stores. And to me, what it seemed like was happening was the stores that were going to stay open sent all their old junk to the stores that were going out of business. And when you sell toys, old junk, and I don't mean junk like the packaging's beat up and everything, but old stuff to them, like stuff that didn't sell, that's a gold mine. And that's what I found was the first rounds of Toys R Us going out of business was where I really made a lot of money. Because that wasn't stuff that was recent. More of it was older toys. And there's a bolo for you. When you can find 2 years ago models still new at the store, somehow people still want what they used to have. And when it's very limited, the price goes up. So I went to stores in Georgia, Florida, Alabama, North and South Carolina, Tennessee. I can't remember if I did Kentucky or not, but I did quite a few stores, and I did a lot of traveling in February and March last year. Then when they announced all the stores were going out of business, it got sent to a liquidation company. I noticed the liquidation company brought in, because I shopped literally, not just when Toys R Us was going out of business, but for a year and a half before that I was in Toys R Us every week. So I really had a good handle on what product they had there. And so I saw that the liquidation company was bringing in their own stuff. They even had a certain label. And what was funny was, like, they had a particular Hatchimals. They already had a lot of them left at Toys R Us. They'd have a whole end cap. But then all the liquidation stuff all had the stickers over the UPC codes. But I would see the same product, A and B. One was from the Toys R Us and one was from the liquidation company. And the liquidation company one always seemed to be more, like they brought it in from somewhere else. As a matter of fact, they had a Target exclusive at the Toys R Us with the liquidation company sticker over it. And it was something that I had seen hundreds and hundreds of at Target. So apparently this liquidation company also bought like surplus or leftover from Toys R Us. It was like left, right, center or something, this little dice game. And it was kind of in a special packaging for Target, and it said Target exclusive right on it. So although I ended up shopping 33 Toys R Us for the second round of going out of business. I don't feel like it was, now, don't get me wrong, I bought a lot of stuff and I made a lot of money on it. But I don't think I got as high a prices as I did from that first go round. And that's what I'm trying to increase my sales over from last year. So it's been difficult. And right now I am up over January, but I am almost 10% down from last year's sales, February to February. And I only have about a week to change that. I've been sending in quite a bit, but I'm not really worried about it because I feel like with the things I'm going to be putting into place throughout the rest of the year, eventually I will catch up and overcome even that 10% from February. I think I can increase that, later in the year. So I'm not really worried about it. But if that happens 2 or 3 or 4 months in a row, I'm going to start to be a little upset over that. Alright, I don't have a whole lot more to talk about today, so I think I'll end this video here, and then look for Monday night, that'd be the 25th of February. I'm going to have my CPA on with me. And really, I don't want to get into the too nitty-gritty, like people asking specifically for their model of business, how this tax issue should work or whatever. I want to talk more about how do you find a CPA, what can a CPA do for your business, what's the difference between an accountant and a CPA, more general kind of things like that. And then of course I'm sure we will talk some about taxes. This person just passed me from the turning lane on the left and I'm going over the speed limit, so screw you. Anyway, I will let you go and I will see you with the next video. And I have to say this, I now have over 1,000 subscribers. I just did this to kind of play around. It gets lonely. You can talk to yourself in the car and make you think there's somebody with you. I just can't say enough about all the subscribers, and also just appreciate the really nice comments that I've got. I just really, really appreciate that. So thank you all, and we will see you in the next video.